All right, so new release today, Fantastic Four. First, can I go in, and obviously I haven't seen this because it's a new release and you have.
Yes.
But can I say, I just hate these things where people are subjected to something and turn into special people. I just, the whole yarn.
Just about every film that's released this
Unfortunately,
year.
it is.
It's the superhero thing. And this is, I understand that this is the oldest kind of family, superhero family in the Marvel franchise. Now, you've also got to remember you've got all the Marvel Universe characters, which is all the Avengers, and then 20th Century
Which also
Fox.
annoys me because it's the same yarn.
Understood. And then Marvel has sold certain other superheroes to 20th Century Fox, and Fantastic Four is one of them. X-Men is the other one. Deadpool that's coming up as well. Anyway, so Fantastic Four...
Why did they do that? So they sold some of their superheroes?
They did.
But not all?
No, they sold these ones.
They kept some?
Yeah, and then they sold some.
Can we assume the ones they sold were the ones they didn't like much?
Well, this film would dictate that that might be the truth. This was done 10 years ago, Jessica Alba, Chris Evans and co, and now it's been rebooted, much younger cast. Excellent cast. Let's look at this. Miles Teller, fantastic in Whiplash, great up-and-coming. Kate Mara, Michael B. Jordan, and the wonderful Jamie Bell, little Billy Elliot, who's making good. They are really talented actors. This film was really, really horrible. It was sort of, and it unfolded in such a way that you couldn't really understand how they could get it wrong collectively because the talent's so great. Wonderful film released a couple of years ago, Chronicle. That director directs this. Don't know what went wrong.
How much money did they throw at this?
Probably a lot, more than $10.
Because it's quite full on in terms of the effects and things like that.
Yes, but no, there's money that's gone into it. And I look at the basic of the nature of the script. There are no... We talked about Ant-Man recently, didn't we?
Yeah.
Wasn't excited. Great script. Perfectly delivered. The nicest
so
kind
in a
of
funny
tone.
way, Ant-Man is the antithesis to this.
It is. It's just no... Even the earlier ones had more charm. And it was breathtakingly dull. And it spent the entire film with the origins and the backstory. And by the time it got to the exciting bit, they wrapped it all up in what felt like a nanosecond.
Okay. They were over it themselves.
I felt like they were.
Okay,
I'm actually a bit gutted about this, Paul, because I thought the trailers were good. So I was deeply disappointed.
All right. So, which goes to show at least 30 seconds of the movie is okay because it fitted in a trailer.
True.
So how bad would the weather have to be this weekend before you found yourself sitting in front of Fantastic Four?
It would have to be kind of a hurricane force and you were locked in the cinema and couldn't leave.
Good to know.
Because there was a tsunami coming towards the cinema and it was the safest place for you to be.
All right, pick of the week.
Well, because it's raining, I watched this over the weekend because obviously, you know, when you're travelling on hotel ring mains, the TV stations in America just put such great films on and they roll them through. And I found myself at the very beginning of David Fincher's Seven. I was so happy. I couldn't sleep. I must have watched this film 30 times. It has everything I could want in a film. That we talk about a rainy weekend. This rains for this entire film. Have you seen this film, Paul?
No.
You must. It's the beginning of Kevin Spacey. It's the same year he made Usual Suspects. He plays John Doe.
Is it frightening? How frightening is it?
It's the great thing about this is I can't actually do a lot of violence. And all of this, it's a murderer who's killing people for the 7 deadly sins. That's his theme. But you get to each murder after it's happened. So you see its aftermath. So I can kind of stomach that, even though in my mind the idea of what happens is awful.
So
I don't
people
see
can whip into the JB Hi-Fi or somewhere and buy it.
They should own it.
Get it on the Blu-ray.
On Blu-ray.
7 is your pick of the week from all the movies in the world this week.
Brad Pitt when he was still super pretty, Morgan Freeman.
Brilliant.
It's outstanding.
Some people, I think Hillary thinks Brad Pitt is still super pretty, don't you?
Oh, look, he is. But
Yes, I do.
No, he is, but when he was really, really pretty.
Okay, top 5.
Ant-Man has been kicked off the top spot, obviously, by Tom Cruise. Mission Impossible just absolutely kicking it at the box office. Mr. Holmes is in the top 5, which is cool. Paper Towns and Inside Out. I hope it sits there for ages. Such a great film.
I think it will, although it is at the bottom of the top 5, isn't it? Yes.
Yeah.
All right, thank you very much, Kate.
My
Have a lovely
pleasure.
weekend. Stay dry.